Hello and welcome not to the 7-foot studio, but to the 7-foot shed. This is a 2009 Squier Vintage Modified Thinline Telecaster, and I bought it the other day on a whim because it was just ridiculously cheap and I'm weak. I didn't have great hopes for it, to be honest, but it's actually quite a nice guitar, although it's certainly not without its flaws. And in this series of videos I'm going to try and address those flaws and hopefully turn it into a good usable guitar. The main area where this guitar is letting itself down is playability, and it looks to me as though it left the factory with bad playability and poor design built into it. I mean, this bridge, look at it. Who thought it was a good idea to have your strings go over the saddle and then immediately have to bend around a spring and a screw before they can go off down through their holes and out to the back of the body? Who thought that was a good idea? I don't know. But I'm getting all kinds of buzzes and rattles and weirdness and some slightly dead strings. And I think this is a major culprit, so I'm going to test that theory by replacing this bridge. This is the replacement I've gone with. It's a Wilkinson WTB Telecaster Ashtray bridge, and straight away you can see it's got one clear advantage over the Squier one, and that's that instead of 6 individual saddles, you've got 3 pairs of 2, so each string can come up and over its saddle and then go off down through whichever hole you route it through without ever having to go anywhere near the intonation screw and spring. Got to be better, hasn't it? I'm happy to admit it, these have next to nothing to do with the playability issues that the guitar's currently got, but in my opinion, locking tuners make any guitar better. And so when I saw that Northwest Guitars, the company that I got the bridge from, make these and sell them for 30 quid, I had to get some on the same order, and they're definitely worth checking out. Okay, so the action on this isn't actually that bad. I'd say we're somewhere around 5-30 seconds there. Maybe as much as 6, but the problem seems to be more to do with how the guitar plays as much as anything. I mean, that's not a particularly bad action, but there's definitely something up. But we'll see how we get on with this bridge for a start. What I'm going to do is do all this work and put these strings back on, see how we go from there. So let's give it a go. Barring Squier's disgraceful attempt at building a bridge and a few wobbly frets, there doesn't actually seem to be that much you could point your finger at and say that's why this guitar's not playing very well. It just doesn't seem to play that well. The nut slots are fine, it's a good height, the neck relief's fine, the action's a little high, but if anything, that should make it sound a bit clearer, you'd think. It's just that when you play, some notes choke and some don't. Other notes, when you bend them, you get a rasp, other ones you don't. And a lot of the notes, you get a weird overtone that's coming in from the bridge area. So it's going to be fun and interesting to see just how much of it is neck and just how much of it comes from here. This is not a tutorial, and I'm not going to bore you with loads of footage of me undoing screws. From here on in for a bit, I'm going to fast forward and we'll see what happens when we get out the other side and there's some actual change and something else to talk about. So here's the new bridge installed on the guitar, and I have to say that it went in a POP. It's a direct swap, perfect fit. So in that regard, top marks Wilkinson. With the bridge all done, it's on to the tuners. That's the new tuners in place, and I have to say, I think they look great. For the money, they look good, they feel good, they've got a feel of quality about them. The gears seem good, and I have to say that similar to the bridge, they went in a treat, no problems at all. Alright, so that's the strings back on, and we've got a new bridge there, and a lovely new set of locking tuners. I'm already sold on the tuners, they're fantastic. I can't test the guitar at the minute because these saddles are so low that the strings are already hitting the frets. It's very late at night now, so I'm going to call it a night, and tomorrow I'll come out and I'll set it all up, and at that point we'll find out whether this has made any improvement at all. I think it's got a good chance, but we'll see.